Hello students, let us discuss some problems related to spring block cases in SHM. So, we will discuss a comprehension passage now. I want you to go through this passage, attempt the questions and then watch the rest of the video. So, let us understand the problem very clearly. Now, this system is released from rest at this position. It is at a height of L from the ground. Now, as it falls through L distance, it will touch the ground with some velocity. So, this system is actually a freely falling object, and if it falls through a height L, the velocity will be root 2 GL for each part of the system. So, the capital M will possess root 2 GL, every part of the spring will possess root 2 GL before hitting the ground, just before hitting the ground. But if it hits the ground, this point immediately comes to rest and the spring starts to compress. So, from this time onwards, the object will now perform SHM. It will be undergoing oscillations. So, the further motion will be SHM, and to analyze that SHM properly, we need to identify the most important things: the equilibrium position, the mean position and the two extremes. So, once you have the idea of what is happening in the situation, you can then solve the problems easily. So, the equilibrium position will be somewhere below the natural length, and here it is represented by this line, the second line. This is the natural length position. The spring is not elongated at this position, it is natural length given as 10L. But if you leave the block like this, it will not be in the equilibrium, because the spring is not compressed, it is not able to hold the block there by balancing the weight. So, it must be compressed by a certain amount. Let us say this distance is x naught, and at that x naught you will obtain a spring force k x naught, which is equal to mg, so that the spring force will balance the weight of the object. So, this equilibrium position is any such level where if you keep the block without moving, without giving any motion, just keep it on the spring, it will stay there. It will be the equilibrium position, the net force will be 0. So, the compressed length will be x naught given by mg by k. So, whenever it performs oscillations, the system will always perform oscillations about such an equilibrium position. So, that will act as the mean position. So, because it is a mean position, we will have an extreme on the other side. So, this block will compress the spring, it will go to the other side and it will find one extreme for the oscillation. So, the one extreme is given here with this level, the third level. So, it goes there and it stops momentarily. All the energy is stored in spring, it stops, no kinetic energy, and then the spring pushes it back upwards. Notice the V0 here. So, it goes upwards and it will leave the surface with root 2 GL again when it comes to the natural length level. And the velocity will not be equal to 0 here. This natural length level is not the other extreme. We have one clear identification for the extreme here on one side. We know clearly the equilibrium position, but we are not sure about the other extreme. It is not performing a complete oscillation. The oscillation is from a position between amplitude and the mean position here. It is not coming from one extreme, and the spring is not attached to the ground as well. So, if the block goes upwards with root 2 GL, it will leave the surface and it will go to the original height, and it will again come down and it will again jump. So, this is what happens, and you have to see that it is an incomplete SHM here, incomplete oscillation you can say. So, it is somewhere between amplitude, the extreme position and the equilibrium position. starting from there goes to one extreme and goes to that position and leaves the surface. Some part of the SHM is not observed here. So, it is incomplete oscillation. So, once you have figured out what is going on, we can now attempt the questions. So, the first question is we have to calculate the force exerted by the spring at the instant when velocity of the block is maximum. So, we know that during oscillations the velocity of the object will be maximum at the equilibrium position while it is crossing the mean position. So, as it is crossing this mean position, the velocity will be of maximum value, it will have the largest speed. Now, at this instant they are asking to calculate the force exerted by the spring. So, that will be equal to mg because it is equilibrium position. So, our first question's answer will be mg. Now, the second question is we have to calculate the maximum speed V max. As it is coming down, we have to calculate the maximum speed it can possess. So, that is obtained at this level. So, by using energy conservation we can do that. Let us say, let us take this as our reference level, the equilibrium position level. So, let us write the energy of the body. From this scenario, the block has a kinetic energy half mv square. This is block's kinetic energy plus the gravitational potential energy will be mg x naught, but x naught is mg by k. This is gravitational potential energy. See that we have taken the reference at the equilibrium level. So, it is at a height x naught from this level, and the spring potential energy is 0 because it is not compressed, it is at its natural length. Now, for this scenario the kinetic energy will be half m v max square, which we have to calculate, plus gravitational potential energy will be 0 because that is our reference level. Now, the spring potential energy is half k the compression x naught square. Here x naught is mg by k, and k is given as 4 mg by L. So, we know the k value, we know x naught. So, substituting for all these values, let us solve this. This is mgl plus 4 mgl by k, this gives you L by 4. So, mgl by 4 equals half mv square plus half k x naught square. X naught is L by 4. So, it is 4 mg by L L by 4 whole square. Mg L by 8. So, we can solve for V maximum here. V maximum you should get it 3 by 2 root G L. Now, the third question, the time duration taken for the block to reach the lowest position for which the spring remains compressed, the time duration for which the spring remains compressed. That means, from this natural length position to when it comes to the extreme for the first time. So, we have to calculate the time. One easy way is to estimate the phase covered, then we can calculate the time easily. So, let us do it in phasors. So, we know that the object is not at its extreme, but somewhere between the mean position and the extreme. So, we can draw a phasor like this here, and it is going to the mean position. That is why I have taken this side, otherwise I would have taken this side. So, this now crosses the mean position. We are drawing the phasor such that the SHM is observed on y axis. So, from this position to the mean position, and then it goes to the other extreme, the lowest position. So, we have to estimate this whole angle, the phase covered. Do we have an idea of amplitude here? We can calculate the amplitude easily with this. Amplitude, we know V max is A omega. V max we have already calculated it 3 by 2 root GL. So, amplitude will be V max by omega. How do you calculate omega for this problem? Omega will be root K by M, and K is 4 mg by L. So, making use of this, amplitude is V max we have already calculated 3 by 2 root GL, and omega will be 2 root G by L. So, this gives you 3L by 4. So, the amplitude in this case is 3L by 4. So, the phasor's length will be 3L by 4, and it is coming from a position. The x naught value we have already calculated at L naught by 4. So, making use of this information, we can calculate the angle theta here, and our answer would be the phase covered will be theta plus pi by 2, and we can estimate the total time for this phase, and that is how we will get the answer. So, let us find theta now. Sin theta is opposite by A. So, theta we can write it as sin inverse L naught by 4 by 3 L naught by 4. So, this will give you 1 by 3 plus pi by 2. This will be the phase covered. So, the time will be time period by 2 pi into this value. So, this is the answer for our problem, and the time period is 2 pi by omega. We already calculated omega, you can substitute for omega here. Please go through this question carefully, and it is a multiple choice question, and watch the rest of the video after solving the problem. So, let us look at the first option. When the extension of this spring is maximum, the velocities of A and B are 0. So, we have two blocks here attached with a spring, and the initial velocities are shown 3 meter per second and 10 meter per second. This is a 5 kg block, and that is a 2 kg block. Initially the spring is unstretched. Now, what happens? Initially the 2 kg block has much larger velocity. So, the spring starts to elongate, and there will be oscillations. Now, when the extension of the spring is maximum, whenever the spring is having the maximum extension or maximum compression, both blocks will have same velocity, but it might not be 0. Let us check that. So, by momentum conservation, we can conserve linear momentum here for the entire system. So, for the 5 kg block and the 2 kg block, 5 into 3 plus 2 into 10. Now, at the time of maximum extension, they will have same velocity. So, the entire mass 5 plus 2 has some velocity v. So, initial momentum is equal to final momentum. V is 15, 20, 35 by, so you will get 5 meter per second, 35 by 7, 5 meter per second. So, the both 5 kg block and 2 kg block will possess 5 meter per second, it is not 0. So, this will be wrong option. The maximum extension is 25 centimeter. How do you calculate maximum extension? We can use energy conservation here. So, the initial kinetic energy and the potential energy, half mv square plus the kinetic energy of 2 kg block, half mv square. Initially the spring is unstretched, so potential energy is 0, is equal to final energies. They both possess same velocity, so I am taking them as one mass, 5 plus 2 into velocity square. Velocity we have just calculated 5 square plus the maximum extension, let us say it is some xm, half xm square, half kxm square. So, from this you should be able to calculate xm, and that will be coming out to be 25 centimeter. This should be correct option. The first maximum compression occurs 3 pi by 56 seconds after start. So, how do you estimate the time? When does the compression occur or when does the elongation occur? Now, such kind of things can be solved easily by making use of center of mass frame. So, let us look at the system in center of mass frame. So, in center of mass frame, that means you have to first calculate the velocity of center of mass. So, that is given by 5 into 3 plus 2 into 10 by total mass, which is 5 plus 2, 7. So, this will be 5 meter per second. So, now in this frame, how the blocks initially are moving. So, this has a velocity 3 meter per second towards right. So, with respect to center of mass, it will be 3 minus 5. So, it will be minus 2. That means it is going towards left with 2 meter per second. How do you get this? 3 minus 5. And the velocity for 2 kg block is 10, and the center of mass velocity is 5 towards right. So, 10 minus 5, it is plus 5. So, towards right. So, in center of mass frame, we will observe that both blocks are moving away from each other. That means the spring will initially elongate, it will start to elongate. Now, for such an oscillation, when does the first maximum compression occur? First maximum compression occurs after the blocks go to the extremes. Let us say these are the extremes in center of mass frame. So, the 5 kg will move towards left, it will stop somewhere, and then it will again go to its other extreme. Similarly, the 2 kg block is now moving away, it will cross the mean position and it will again come back, it will find its other extreme. So, when both blocks come towards their extremes, then the spring's compression will be maximum. So, first they should go to the extremes which are obtained by the maximum elongation position. That means, if they start from here, they should cover this much phase. Starting from the mean position, they should go to left extreme and then come to right extreme. For the 2 kg block, it will start from the mean position, it will go to the right extreme and then it will come to the left extreme. So, this is where you will obtain the maximum compression. So, what time do you think it takes? So, it is T by 4 plus T by 4 plus T by 4, 3 1/4 of the time period, mean to extreme, extreme to mean and another mean to extreme. So, if the oscillation time period is capital T, now this system will take 3 T by 4 time to attain the first maximum compression. How do you calculate capital T now? capital T can always be calculated by making use of this relation. Whenever you have two blocks spring systems, you can use reduced mass here. Time period will be 2 pi root mu by k, where mu is the reduced mass, m1 m2 by m1 plus m2. So, by making use of this, you can calculate capital T and you will get the answer for this problem. So, now you will get the answer to be 3 pi by 56 and C will be correct. And let us look at option D, maximum extension and maximum compression occur alternately. Yes, it is performing oscillations, so expansions and compressions will occur alternately. So, D will also be correct.